The world's edgy markets continued to whipsaw as the Dow went through a 600-point mood swing.
People would like to see a direction, any direction.
President Bush canceled a planned trip to talk with his economic advisors.
The American people can be sure we will continue to act.
And the market soared on reports the Treasury Department is considering creating a resolution trust. That's what the government used to bail out the troubled savings and loans in the 1980s by buying up all their bad debt. But critics say that crisis was different.
The paper, financial paper sold then, was not as damaged in its reputation as the subprime paper is today.
This financial crisis, meanwhile, continues to deepen. Wachovia reportedly is in talks to merge with Morgan Stanley. Washington Mutual is in a desperate search for a buyer, and the credit markets have frozen as banks have become reluctant to loan money even to each other.
I've been in this business for 25 years, and I've never seen the markets this locked up.
With the failure of Lehman Brothers, Paul McCulley says confidence has collapsed.
No one trusts anybody anymore. They still do trust Uncle Sam. Mr. Bernanke and Mr. Paulson need to put Uncle Sam's money on the line to restore trust.
Overnight, the Federal Reserve and the world's biggest central banks pumped hundreds of billions of dollars into the financial system to try to keep the markets moving and the economy from stalling.
If you start a business, you got to borrow money. And if there's no money to be borrowed, people aren't getting educated, they aren't buying houses, they're not building companies.
And that means trouble for the American economy. That's why the Dow went skyrocketing at even the idea of a resolution trust. But that would require congressional legislation, which could take months. And the economy, Harry, doesn't have that much time.
So Hank Paulson, Treasury Secretary, meets tonight. Ben Bernanke, Washington leaders, they want to get this thing together. The time is really of the essence here, isn't it?
Urgency is the key thing right now. I mean, one money manager said to me today, this situation is spiraling down. I mean, we saw with AIG, this can sneak up really fast. Suddenly, like a $40 billion problem was an $85 billion problem. That's what we're dealing with. That's why you have this series of ongoing meetings. There isn't a lot of time.
I remember resolution trust from the late 80s, early 90s. Entire developments were sitting rotting in the suburbs. Giant skyscrapers were empty by the time that came online.
Right.
How might this help these markets?
The whole idea here is you take all this bad debt, you move it off their balance sheets, and you park it somewhere else where you can get rid of it in an orderly process. That cleans up their balance sheets and makes things move smoothly again. But it takes time.
It does take time. All right, Anthony Mason, thanks.